So I wanted to watch you guys with the VIP because I always love to watch artists with their fans, and you have this really cool rapport with your fans.
Really?
Yeah, it just is really cool to sit back and watch that kind of take place. Your fans, I talked to a couple and they're really diehard. And
I suppose.
they're really, really diehard. The guy in the bacon suit, he said that the last time he saw you, he had you sign half of his collection, but then he had the other half. It was just massive. It was a beautiful collection.
Yeah.
So how do you feel when your fans come to your VIPs and they're ready to meet you and they want to interact?
Humbled.
Humbled?
And I mean, it's because it's genuinely, I mean, that chap, for example, I mean, he's got things that I don't even have. I was going, wow, I don't even have that, and I don't have that, and I don't have that, and there were about 4 things he had that I don't have. Not that I'm really obsessive, but I'm just, it's quite staggering, and I suppose having gone away for over 10 years and not done any pig recordings and done other things and thinking it was literally a chapter that was closed, it's astounding to then re-engage with something and find that I had a passion to do it again, and then find that there are people who went, oh great, it's great that you've come back, Raymond. I mean, it's a very small kind of congregation that we have, but like you said, they're quite diehard, and they go, oh yeah, we waited 12, 15, 20 years, and it's nice that you're back. And so it makes you feel, well, humbled, but also, I suppose, kind of just really engaged. And it means, see, I'm sorry to waffle, I'm really into the process of doing things. I like the process of doing it, but when it's done and I get the finished product, whether it's my book or my album or my this, I kind of like, oh great, that's all right, and I put it on one side, I'm on to the next thing. And that's the best way to be. When I don't sit there ogling at releases forever, ages. I just go, oh, that's great. Oh,
not caressing the covers.
Yeah, I just go, great, on to the next one. So when I come back out and meet people who actually have stuff, you see that it has this other life that goes on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When people come and they're holding a thing and they say, can you sign it? Because for me, it's like, that chapter's gone, but it's a weird thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for me, because I'm a writer and I'm a photographer, and I just came back from Sweden Rock, and I followed a fan around who was in love with this metal band for years, and I walked around with him, walked before the show, and he did the autograph line, and we just chat and everything, and it's kind of cool to see, like, their stories that they're talking about, like a time in their life where they were, and that music just takes them back in an instant to these places in life, and that kind of what I was seeing here, just kind of that look on people's faces was the same. That
it's funny that, isn't it? I mean, there was a chap I was talking to tonight, and he was brilliant. He said, I said, how did you find your way to Pig? He said, well, 20 years ago when Rex came out, I went on a date and and I bought this record, and he told me about how he put the CD, as it was, in the carpet on his first date. He said the woman started hearing this thing. It was a bit of an inauspicious start, and it didn't last long, needless to say. But so he said they went on this date, and on the way he stopped in a record store, and it was amazing, to think that I was part of their, not journey, story, whatever, and how it immediately took him back to that first date. Like in the way that when I smell cut grass, it takes me back to somewhere, or if I look at a Polaroid of me on a summer holiday with my elder brother in so-and-so, you're right back there. And music, if I listen to Ride a White Swan by T-Rex, right, that's the very first record I bought. The very first record.
Very first?
Ride a White Swan, whenever it was, 1970, 71, I can't remember. And that's the weird journey. It's like a little ticket back in time.
Yeah.
When you hear something on the radio, or you see something, or you smell something, it's just like a little, and you go, it's so weird, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, because I travel the world and I'm obsessed with England. My great grandfather immigrated from there, and so I go, and every time I go, there's all these little memories and things, or I'll go to Sweden, and everything's got like the smell, and it just totally takes you back and transforms you. And I think music is huge on that, because I know people that just lines their life, and you can put up a song, people are like, oh, I know what year that was, and so it just kind of resonates through. And so fast forward 10 years, and you guys put out Swine and Punishment in March. Yes. How's that record doing for you guys right now?
Well, that's a remix album. That's basically songs from the gospel. The gospel is the first one that I did since 2004, and that was last September. Swine and Punishment is one one new song that was just a bonus on the vinyl gospel, but basically it's remixes. So it's kind of other people's interpretations. So it's slightly different. Really proud of it. Really pleased to get so many great people to remix our stuff. I was really, quite chuffed that, Tim Scold and Kanga and Mark Heel and Chris Renner and and all these fabulous people like London After Midnight and all these people did great remixes. One's quite chuffed. The one I suppose that the more recent release is Pray and Obey EP, which is only download only. It's 3 songs: Pray and Obey, The Revelation and The Cult of Chaos.
Okay.
That was released like a month ago.
Okay.
Download only. That is got 1 foot, it's related to the gospel stuff, but it's also 1 foot in the furrow that will be the stuff of the next album, because I was literally choosing stuff from the next album to put on this. So it's kind of like it's a kind of bridge, and I'm really pleased with that as well. So it's like the gospel, like Swine and Punishment, but it's that, and it's another stepping stone on the way to the next record, and then on to the next tour and the next stuff. So it's all part of that thing. Really pleased with the way it's all gone.
So what brought you back after 10 years of that break, though?
Okay. I really was. I worked a lot all through. I started doing music in the late 70s, and I ended up in Japan in 1981, working my butt off. When Japan was really quite an exotic and far-flung place, then wasn't really on the touring map then. And I lived there for like 4 or 5 months. I sort of came back, started working in a completely different field of music, working with experimental proper industrial bands, what I call the proper, like Punchstutz and on Psychic TV and that lot. Ploughed that furrow all the way through the 80s, ended up living in Hamburg, West Berlin for ages. All the way through the 90s, came back to England, did a lot of work in Japan with Japanese musicians, I'd left KMFDM, worked with Jim Thirlwell's band, with all those guys from Swans and and then came back to Pig, produced other things. All the way through the 90s, there was Pig, then KMFDM, Shaft and Shrine, these Japanese projects, so I was all over the place. By the time I got to 2003, I was really done with it. I didn't think I was done with it, I just...
Burn out.
And I was drugging so fucking furiously. It was a non-stop. I'd given up on kind of dealers. I had a private doctor who was just incredibly compliant. He gave me prescriptions for anything and everything, and I'd go every time I came over here. I came over with a fucking bag of morphine that big, and I had documentation from the Home Office, which is the kind of government, saying, it was a non-stop, very... I wasn't really drug fueled. I was just because it was just so much part of my fucking.
Just became a routine.
Just like putting on underpants, and I could get it together to put underpants on. They always say, "Oh, your life becomes really unmanageable when you're fucking out of your head." Well, I was really fucking organised. I made sure everywhere I went, I had shitloads of supplies of everything. I was really done with it, and so. In answer to your question, was how did I come back to it?
Yeah.
I went ploughing on. I stopped the Pig thing and started working for fashion labels, for McQueen and various other fashion houses, doing runway music. I didn't have to go on tour. It wasn't an album. It was great fun, and I was quite good at it. It was quite challenging, but it was actually very, very experimental and reminded me a lot of doing the stuff. I worked with John Gosling, who I'd met in Psychic TV in 1982, who was the musical director for McQueen, and I got involved with him. We'd known each other for years. And John has always had this sensibility for quite weird shit, that we cut a lot of tape loops and did quite experimental records with another band I was had with him called Zoskia, which was a Psychic TV splinter band. So I wasn't on tour. I was able to do it, and I didn't have to change my lifestyle. And then I had really bad health issues, really bad. And I was in hospital, and then I was in rehab. And surprisingly enough, I found that when I got clean and sober, these weird things, I got a request to go and play at a festival, and I called up Inesh, and I called up Gunter and said, should we go and do this festival? Usually I would ignore these invitations, and they went, oh yeah, this is a very good idea. And I was going, what the fuck? And then that turns into a tour and a... Hi man. Then it turned into a tour that we did last September and October. But before that, the booking agent said, "You have got a record to promote, Raymond." I said, "No." He said, "Well, you better have a fucking record to promote, because I'm not pulling you out on tour." So Mark Thwaite, who I'd met through Primitive Race, which was a side project that I'd been involved with, and he'd introduced me to Zemar from Combi Christ, and then we went boom, and we went boom, and there's a record, and that became the gospel. And then so I went, how am I going to put this out? I called up Metropolis, who'd done shit with me, and they went, yeah, we'll have a record off you, Raymond. So I went, all right. So it was very weird. So it all kind of
just evolved on its own?
Yeah, but it was only, I mean, I'm not saying it was only because I was sober, because it wasn't just because, it was just like, I never wanted to do it again, and then somehow I found that I actually really fucking enjoyed it.
So what about the touring part, though?
Well, that's a weird thing, because I've never been on tour, never been on stage without being fucked. I mean, out of my fucking head. Literally, I was a fucking arsehole back in the 90s. You asked them, it's like, I'm not going on stage unless I've got 2 grams of fucking coke right now. All that shit, you know. You know, I asked for tequila. You really expect me to drink this fucking brandy? You know. What a wanker I was, you know. But in a way, I didn't have any trepidation about coming on tour. I just thought, bloody hell, I wonder if anyone would show up. You know. The first show I did.
May I actually interrupt? Can I get a hug, please?
Of course.
Pausing for a hug with the band.
Old fan from way back in the day. Thank you for actually giving me a smile.
Back.
So coming on tour, being sober, I mean, everything was different. I'll tell you really little things, and I've bored people with this before. When I used to come on tour before, I would sit in the back lounge, fucking out of my face, weeping with fucking unhappiness, really fucked up. And people would go, oh, but you're doing what you love, and you're in a tour bus, and you're playing nice venues, and you've got a tour man, you've got an assistant. And I was fucking unhappy. And then this time we came out in a little van, and at first I was going, how do you go on tour in a van? Okay. And actually, I tell you, it's so much nicer. It's so much better. Hi, man.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you for coming up.
And thanks for bringing an S with you.
My pleasure. Wouldn't do it without him. Couldn't do it without. Couldn't do it without him.
I was talking to him about re-recording Cheesy since they lost all the shit.
Keep working on it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you find that using the van it's just simpler?
Listen, I'll tell you what it is. Everyone thinks, oh, tour bus is great, you've made it when you use it. It's fucking shit. I'll tell you what. Van, you go to your hotel, you sleep on a bed that's not bowling down the highway. So your bed's stable, there's a TV there, there's a toilet over there you can shit in. You can't shit in the fucking bus. And
yeah,
you know, and then you get up
even
in
if they wash it out, that's going to smell that forever.
Yeah. You get in the van in the morning, and I'll tell you, this is the big difference. This is the window is here and here. So whether you're driving through New Jersey or fucking California or wherever, you see it. You stop for a pee in the hotel, in the truck stops.
Yeah.
You interact with the people. You're not bowling down the highway with. This is tour bus. You leave at 2, 3 in the morning. The window, the sofas are like this. The window's behind you and the blinds are down. You go to sleep at 7, 8 in the morning. You wake up with a hangover, parked behind a club. There's no fucking shower. You get changed in a corridor with stinky people left up and right and centre. There's nowhere to open your suitcase. Miserable as fucking sin. Picture? Absolutely. Do you mind?
No.
Do you want? Diane is a very talented photographer. I'm sure she'll do. She's
Awesome.
multitasking. She's recording there. And she's going to be taking photos. Recording with one hand, photography with the other.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry about this.
I'm so used to it. It's all about the fan experience. I think it's doing it. There we go. Double check your phone real quick to make sure you got it.
Right on the trees, eh?
Yeah, of course. Only the classics part of the club for us. Hey, man.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, man. So it's like you go, oh, I couldn't possibly go in a van, and then you find it's actually better. It's this weird thing. It's like, oh, I couldn't possibly go on stage not fucked out of my head. Oh, it's actually better. Now, I don't want to be the evangelical zeal of the recently converted, because there's nothing more fucking boring.
No. So after the tour is over,
Yep.
What's the next plan? Are you guys planning another tour somewhere else, or is it going to be back to record for a next album? Or
Well, the next album is sort of half. It's sort of lots of it's written. It's a question of thrashing out, sitting there, beating it into shape. It's not actually a wrestling match. It's more of a kind of pleasant conversation with another part of myself, giving birth to a fucking record. And of course, working with Zima, and that's the other thing that's happened that's different is the whole. It was very much me ploughing a me furrow in the day, which was a particular thing, and it gave birth to these particularly obsessive records like Wrecked and Praise the Lord. But it's much more collaborative now. You know, Zima, Mark Thwaite, Enesh, Gunter, people just, you know, my art people, these incredible art people like Jared Everson out here in LA, and Gabriel Edvey, who does my video visuals and shit like that. It's much more like loosened up, the whole big thing, and I'm really blessed that I've got great people in the trenches with me. It's weird. It's weird.
so out on this tour with everyone that's surrounding you, do you feel more inspired?
What, when I'm on the tour?
Well, yeah, I guess out here right now, you just started a tour. You guys are going to be touring through August.
Yeah.
Kind of freeing, or?
Yeah. I mean, I've got really nice people, is what I'm saying. I suppose.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got really nice people, and it makes a hell of a difference.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it's sort of the bottom line thing now. They've got to be nice people.
Yeah.
You know, and I've made fucking mistakes. I've worked with the wrong people and stuff like that, and now I just make sure that I work with people that I like. And from there, you know, you can either do something good or shit, but at least there's a bottom line that there's a kind of moral compass that you share or something like that. I don't know.
So what do you do when you're not doing music?
Well, in all of that time when I was off, I mean, I did do things, you know, I looked after my children. My kids are now 17 and 16, my two boys. I did a lot of looking after them, even though I, wasn't maybe the best parent in the world or the most sober. I did a lot of teaching them to be, hopefully, the best I could give them the best moral compass.
Are they following your footsteps in music?
No. The elder one just started his first day since he left school. He's doing a little job before he starts at university, and he's just done his first day today, actually. It was great talking to him. His first since he left school, and he starts university in September. Right. Working on a golf course because he loves golf.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so cool,
There's some great golf courses. You guys live in England, right?
Yeah.
And
he loves that, and he's really good at it. He's different from me, but we did a little tour in the UK a couple of months ago, and they both came and they saw me on stage for the first time. It was hysterical.
Was it so surreal for them? Because I've heard that from a lot of the kids that see their parents. They're like, what?
Absolutely. The younger one, who's now 16, he was going to come. The elder one, who's 17, he said, I'm not coming. And then he turned up that evening. I said, what are you doing here? He was going, oh, Dad, these people, they've all got piercings and tattoos.
Okay, so that's it. When you're home, do you dress smart and stylish, or are you just the normal?
Same
So
shit.
it's not because I know there's some artists that they never wear jeans, and their kids are like, what happened to you? You're wearing jeans, and you're like, who's this person? You're not my parent.
Yeah, no,
So
I mean, because I've worked from home, and even when I was doing like the fashion stuff, it was always quite left field, so they're quite used to they have completely different taste from me. Although when I was mixing the last album, my younger one came in. There's a song called Violence, which is a bonus track on the vinyl gospel, and I think we also put it on as an extra track on Swine and Punishment, the remix CD. And he kept coming and kept going, oh, this one's quite a banger, Dad. And I was going, well, what's a banger? He said, well, a banger is like a boom boom.
So he's more of a download fest kind.
Yeah, exactly. And the other one's more like, my God, some of their music taste. I mean, literally, I'm going. So when one of them says, oh, that's quite a banger, Dan, I was going.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, that's all I have. I mean, it's so awesome to hear what real life is like for you as well, and then to see your fans and the interaction is just really genuine. It was really cool.
Thank you.
It was really, really cool.
Thank you.